Let's talk about the Sword Coast. It's a storm-wrecked place where the sea is always trying to claim the land and memory along with it. And right on that edge stands the town of Leilon. It's just a small flicker of light against a huge, gathering darkness. But see, this story isn't really about the town. It's about the echo it's been keeping, and the 6 strangers who showed up just in time to hear it. This is the story of the Leilon Marches and an echo in the deep. Stone in the tide, fire in the hills. That's Leilon's motto. It's a promise, right? A promise of resilience from a community that's seen it all. Dragonfire, magical cataclysms, the whole shebang. It's supposed to be about endurance. But lately, well, that stone feels a little brittle, and that tide is rising with a strange, really unnerving purpose.
Yeah, because something is waking up. It doesn't have a name, not yet. It's more of a pressure, a psychic static that makes everyone's temper short and turns their dreams into nightmares. You can feel it pulsing from the Feastone mines, and you can feel it coming from the cold, black water offshore. It's like a song that's promising both power and total ruin.
Okay, so to really understand the storm that's coming, you first have to understand the shore it's about to crash into. Leilon is a town that's being besieged not by armies, but just by bad luck and circumstance.
I mean, the land itself is failing them. The fields are blighted, forcing everyone to depend on the sea. But the sea is treacherous, and the only road for trade is blocked by bandits. Their biggest resource, the Feastone mines, they're getting more dangerous and less profitable every single day. And the lighthouses? The great lighthouses that were supposed to guide ships to safety? They're going dark, one by one, leaving the coast vulnerable in ways no one even understands yet. Leilon is basically isolated, hungry, and incredibly fragile.
And into this fading light walk 6 people. They're not drawn here by some grand call to heroism, not at all. They're drawn by the weight of their own pasts. They are, you could say, echoes of their own struggles, broken promises, fading faith, and the ghosts of unfinished business.
First, you've got Lady Cassandra Vexmore. She was sent here as a political envoy, but she's finding herself becoming a leader in the dark. She carries the Vexmore name, and that name is tied to a secret, an ancient crime that now threatens to swallow her whole family. Every single choice she makes is weighed against the crushing cost of just surviving.
Then there's Shaik. He's this quiet cleric who just discovered he's the last heir to a secret order, the Watchers at Dusk. They were sworn to guard this terrible prison called the Echoing Gate. That psychic hum from the deep? It's a song he vaguely remembers from his parents' hidden prayers, a song of sealing. Only now, it's being sung in reverse.
Despera, but she just goes by Rue, is the only survivor of a mind collapse that killed her parents. So she's this woman haunted by silence and the memory of those deep, dark places. But here's the thing. Down in the dark, she's discovered their ghosts, or at least echoes of them, still kneeling at a hidden shrine, guarding against the very thing that's now trying to break free.
Elia, well, she was once a guardian in the Feywild, this parallel plane of raw, untamed magic. Her charge, an infant Fey Duke, died when House Vexmore failed to deliver a sacred offering. That betrayal ripped her from her world, leaving her as this creature of shadow and regret. And now she travels with Cassandra Vexmore, the heir to that very same family's sin. Talk about awkward.
Hunter is a blood hunter. He's one of those guys who uses forbidden blood magic to get the power to fight monsters. He's the last of his tribe, and he is pragmatic, ruthless, and driven by one single thing: vengeance against the mysterious order that wiped out his people. He sees this growing darkness not as some spiritual threat, but as a corruption that just needs to be burned out.
And finally, we have Vexmaravo, a charming, totally opportunistic merchant who came to Leilon because he saw the Feastone crisis as a chance to get rich quick. Instead, he's found himself tangled up in a destiny he never, ever bargained for, becoming this unlikely, curious anchor for this whole band of broken people.
So their separate paths, all their different baggage, it all converged on a single, desperate task: to push back the encroaching darkness, if only for a moment, by relighting one small spark against an endless sea. Their first real test started deep in the haunted mines of Leilon, where they found these glowing runes from an ancient containment spell that was clearly failing. From there, it was this desperate race to the storm-lashed Graytower Isle. For 6 agonizing hours, they performed a ritual to restore the lighthouse, all while battling psychic monsters conjured from their own minds and the churning sea. And they did it. They succeeded. The great beacon flared back to life, but its light wasn't a comfort. It was a flare, a signal, telling something ancient and terrible that the guards were,
once again at their posts.
And that's when the scholar Cassian Albright came up with this terrifying theory. He suggested that the lighthouses, they aren't for ships. They're the bars of a cage, an ancient magical network designed to contain a psychic entity, what he called the echoing gate. So by relighting the beacon, our heroes didn't fix a problem. They just reminded the prisoner that it was in fact still in prison. From there, their journey took them straight down, below the waves, to the hidden sea elf city of Nyelath's Grace. And down here, the threat wasn't some monster. It was the cold, quiet currents of politics, secrets, and murder.
They arrived to find the city's ruler, Priestess Arl Shay, dead. The investigation uncovered this impossible crime that could only have been done by someone in her own bloodline. The truth pointed to her son, Commander Nimrath, a man just eaten up by ambition. To stop a civil war, he chose a fate worse than death, a ritual that wiped his mind totally clean, turning him into a living weapon, forever bound to serve the city he just fractured.
Now, as all this drama is unfolding, that psychic pressure from the deep lashes out, trapping the whole city in a shared nightmare. A huge shadow dragon appears, a power beyond anything they could imagine, and it speaks directly to Aaliyah. It offers her a choice, a chance to save herself from the darkness. So what does the fallen guardian, the one who already failed to protect someone once, do now?
She chose redemption. In that single moment, Elia, the exile who was defined by her past loss, refused to let anyone else fall. She asked the dragon to protect the city, to save everyone. It was this act of absolute selflessness that not only saved Nyelath's Grace, but marked this huge turning point in her own journey, from guilt back towards grace.
Armed with this new alliance, forged in tragedy, the party finally returns to the surface, only to find their home under attack. A war party of Sahugin, these ravenous, fish-like humanoids from the deep, had laid siege to Leilon. With the help of the Sea Elf Navy, they broke the siege. Leilon was saved. But it was a victory that cost them everything. The town's treasury is empty, its people are starving, and our heroes, they get paid in paper promises, not gold. The immediate threat is gone, but the deeper one, that psychic hum from below, has only grown stronger, louder, and way more insistent.
So Leilon survives. For now. A stone holding against a tide that feels less like water and more like a slow, waking thought. The heroes, they've lit a candle in the dark, but in doing so, they have absolutely drawn the attention of whatever was sleeping there. And, as winter settles on the Sword Coast, the real question is, what happens when the night answers back?